Hello, magical people. My name is Lou, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I wanted to do a reading about messages from Spirit. Not everything is going to be a massive transition period, although there has been much of that in the air of late, but this is more specifically to any messages from Spirit, which might just be also gentle encouragements for more mundane things. I'm actually really not sure what's going to come out, but my intention is to just be open to whatever messages Spirit wants to send along today to you. And I'm going to do this in 3 different readings. So I have not put the piles together prior to. I'm going to do everything kind of live. I will try and figure out how to put timestamps in below so you can just go directly to your reading. Hi, so I'm still pretty new to these making videos and apparently get a little overexcited in the moment and completely lose my sense of presence. So what I neglected to say is that I'll be inserting a photo following this little portion of this After Effect video with a photograph of the 3 crystals. And I will pause on that photo for a moment. And there's lots of ways that you can pick. You can pick just because of the way one looks. You can pick if there is a particular number that is calling to you. You can look in the timestamps, and if any of the numbers resonate with you there, then you can do that as well. One way that I always did it when I first started becoming interested in these things is I would take a few minutes to take a few deep breaths and try and calm my physical and energetic body as much as possible. And then I would say the number. I always went with the number. I would just say reading 1, reading 2, reading 3 in my mind. And then I would, after each number, have a moment of stillness and just listen to my body. And over time, I came to notice that when it was a reading that was meant for me, there would be a feeling in my stomach that then started to just shoot upwards, like it's out my head, almost like just like a very zingy feeling. And if it was not a reading that was meant for me, then instead I would feel a heaviness in my stomach, or sometimes a sensation moving down towards my feet. So that's the method that always worked for me. Everybody has their own way, and yeah, so I think that's it. Thanks. Enjoy the readings. Reading 1, the first thing that came to mind when I was thinking about connecting with the energy of group 1 was this really beautiful rose color. So that's going to be rose quartz. And this is going to be a combination of both oracle and tarot cards. So let's just see what messages Spirit has for group 1 today. Ooh, first card that's coming out is an oracle card, and it is Trust Your Path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So already off of the bat, I'm getting very much a feeling of maybe you have been in a place where you've experienced a little bit of self-doubt lately, and so Spirit is just showing up to remind you that that is not your energy. The energy of self-doubt is not actually you. When we are in our core self, there is no doubt. The second card that's coming up is self-creation. Be the author of your own life. Love that. So it's this one. Ooh, not sure if I can get that to focus. appreciate your patience as I figure out how to do this. There we go. And trust your path. Okay, now we're going to pick out a third oracle card. And then we will also pull some tarot cards. I'm also noticing that there's a lot of, interestingly, a lot of pink and rose undertones just to the two cards that have come out so far. Oh, I love this. And the next card, your hard work is paying off. And it's interesting, I was wondering if this was going to work or not using oracle cards in this way. But I was kind of thinking a little bit of like a past, present, future sort of energy. So that first one of trusting your path and maybe being recently in a place of self-doubt, and then with that self-creation, be the author of your own life. That's showing up as the present energy. And then in the future forthcoming energy, your hard work is paying off. So that is a pretty beautiful progression right there. So again, I'm just gonna pull some tarot and see what we've got. Oh, wow. Okay, terrific. I love this. Okay. So for trust your own path, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, which is, I can see where maybe this self-doubt was coming from for you. It's like there was this heartbreak, this sadness, and this could even be going back to just very old programming as well, but something that when there's something good that comes along to you, and the Ace of Pentacles is all about sort of a potentiality from the universe, a gift from the universe, and being pentacles, that means it's earth, so that's how things actually manifest and show up in our world today. So this could be a new job, this could be a new project, or it could be a new place that you're living. It could manifest in a lot of different ways, but there's something about it that, like, once you, almost that feeling of too good to be true, or maybe I don't deserve this, a little bit of imposter syndrome kind of showing up in the way that you think about these things. And Spirit is asking you to trust your path. And if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And showing up for yourself, and trying to quiet that voice in your mind that may be telling you that you don't deserve this, or that you don't belong there, or any of those unpleasant, niggling little thoughts that show up and spoil what otherwise our intuition is trying to tell us feels like a good thing. And then with the self-creation, the two tarot cards that came out were the Two of Cups and the Hierophant, which I mean, these are both cards that speak of, or can speak of, institutions. So a lot of times people will see the Two of Cups as a contract card, or a marriage card, a love card, and that love can be either internally focused or shared with another person. And here I'm kind of seeing that there is a lot of love here, that there's something, there's an institution, there's, gosh, I feel like it's not quite becoming clear, so I'm going to pull another card on that one, just to see if I can get a little bit more perspective. Be the author of your own life. And the Hierophant, that can speak of, looking to an outside source of authority, a teacher, or a master, somebody who can help you learn what it is you need to learn in order to walk your own path and move forward with that. Another thing that's really coming out with this Two of Cups is twos are a lot of times about balance, or trying to achieve balance, or being in a place of stasis. And there's a lot of calm energy in this card, and you know, I think that if you can remain calm, if you can be balanced and hold this cup full, and you know, really reach towards learning something new and moving out of that old way of thinking where you second guess yourself, that would be very helpful. And yeah, and it's the card that came out for clarifier was the Empress. So, you know, again, I'm very much getting this sense of reaching outside of yourself, that yes, you have to trust your own path, but of course we don't walk our own paths alone. So whether this could be a mentor or a loved one, somebody that feels safe to you, somebody that you have respect for, like a mentor. And I don't necessarily mean mentor in the sense that like this could also be a best friend, because you know, sometimes in relationship, or it could even be a partner, but in relationship we ideally sort of switch roles, and sometimes we show up as the person who is mentoring another, and sometimes we show up as the person who is requiring a little bit of mentoring. So I wonder if maybe in your past this feeling of self-doubt and maybe feeling like you didn't belong kind of got in your way of asking for help. And with the Empress showing up as well, like that's kind of like, you know, divine feminine energy and earth mama energy. There's a lot of nurturing and a lot of comfort in the Empress energy. And the Hierophant is a little bit cooler of an energy, but very similar in the sense that this is a person outside of you who you're being asked to be receptive to, because this person will help you trust your own path more and help you understand that those voices that showed up in your mind offering all sorts of self-doubt and self-negation, those really aren't you. That's old programming, and you've got different options now. You can follow a different path and really learn how to take the practical steps towards, or have a better understanding of the practical steps that you need to take to walk down your own path. And then for the future, in the future space, your hard work is paying off, is what Spirit wants to tell you. And the two tarot cards that came out were the Six of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. So interesting, another two, I hadn't even really noticed that. And this is very much about trying to find balance in a space where there's a lot happening around you. There's I mean, just look at the waves in the background there. There's a lot of chaos happening, and this person is standing on one foot and successfully juggling what they've got going on. And again, two being pentacles, these are not thoughts or not feelings, but actual things that are manifest physically in the world. So a lot of times when I see this card come out, I get the impression that it's like there's a lot going on. You are literally juggling multiple projects, or as you are moving forth and bringing a project closer to fruition, and having followed those, you know, some of those practical steps that you created for yourself and that you're creating for yourself right now, there's this yeah, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on. But what's also interesting is that the Six of Pentacles showed up, and this card is very much being in a position, having achieved success, being in a position to also assist others and show up for others. So, you know, it's funny because when I first started this video, I was like, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be big stuff. And this could show up in small ways, but I mean, nothing is actually small, because if you look at the story that's being told about this right here, about you, group one, and I do truly hope this resonates for you, because this is truly lovely, is that you're coming out of a place of being in self-doubt, but also starting to see true, real possibilities that are open and available to you. And Spirit is asking you to trust your path. And so what does that look like? What that looks like is being the creator of your own path, and doing the hard work and undertaking the learning and showing up for yourself and with others to both understand what needs to be done and start to take steps to do it. And in doing that, you create a lot of activity for yourself, and all of that hard work starts to pay off to the point where you have enough abundance that you can then help others. So, and this doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you're going to make a ton of money and then be able to make lots of donations to causes that you believe in. That could be one way that it shows up, but it could also be that in learning to embrace and step towards this possibility, this Ace of Pentacles energy, you're gonna have to do a lot of learning. And that learning, that experience itself may actually be the thing that you are then able to disperse out into the world around you, and put that positive, abundant energy back into the world. So, all right, let's pull a couple of more oracle cards just to see if we can get a couple of final messages from Spirit. I really love this. This is such a gently encouraging message. Like, you're okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just fine. You have a real opportunity here to do some really cool things, and it sounds or looks like there will be some collaboration. Dang it, that card totally just fell on the floor. So, pardon me. Okay. And the card that came out, oh my goodness, was knowledge. Knowledge. So yeah, so again, that's really giving me the feeling that, you know, maybe it is, maybe at the end of the day, your path is to be a teacher in some way, and to not only gain knowledge, but also then, you know, mete it out to the people around you, and let that be something that's sort of, I'm seeing a fountain kind of in my head, you know, sort of all of this energy being brought into you, all of this knowledge being brought into you, and then just like all of the amazing things that can start to happen around you when it just bubbles up and starts to actually pay off. But again, there is that middle step that we're in right now, where you have to acquire the knowledge. You have to seek outside of yourself for positive influences, positive teachers, positive role models, to help you go through this act of self-creation. And yeah, okay, so let me pull one more card. This is a chakra card. So my intention here is that Spirit wants to tell you, or I don't really like that. The rest of this energy on this reading is so gentle. I don't want to say that Spirit is telling you, but Spirit is asking you and inviting you, if you are a meditator, to maybe spend some extra time meditating on your heart chakra. And the specific color of green that came out is with regards to love, kind of hearkening back to this Two of Cups energy. I wonder if you're, you know, and obviously this won't resonate with everybody, but for somebody, I'm very much getting the feeling that this is somebody that you are in partnership with, and if you can allow yourself to move into a slightly different role where you are the one learning. Maybe you're the person in your partnership who tends to take the lead most of the time, or be the one who's supporting or teaching or advising. Maybe bringing a little bit more balance and equanimity back into that relationship, allowing that other person's wisdom to come through to you and nurture you. That can be a good thing. There's so much to learn from all of the people around us all of the time. We all have nuggets of wisdom. We all have nuggets of wisdom to be dispensed to others. So again, if you could spend some time meditating on your heart chakra, and that can be as simple as taking a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just imagining the color green in your heart chakra area. Just imagine that color resonating and pulsing. And expanding out of you. And this can be a very short visualization. It can be just as short as that, just as short as that. Certainly you can, if you are an experienced meditator and already have some, a little bit more longevity that you can focus your attention, then by all means, meditate for as long as you feel comfortable. But even if you are not an experienced meditator, if you have ever taken a moment to take a deep breath in and a sigh out, then you actually do have some experience meditating. So I would say go ahead and lean into that. So I hope that you have found this helpful, group number 1. This has been really, really interesting to see. And I wish you the best. If you'd like to comment and let me know if this resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. Be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, and take care. Now, I'm going to put all of my decks back together here and do a little bit of reshuffling so that I can move ahead to group 2. I don't know if I'm going to cut this part out or not because I'm not so very good at randomly rambling, but hopefully this also won't take me super long to get everything back in place. So, gosh, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this part out because I don't know what to say to fill the dead air. Oh, for heaven's sakes. And now I'm getting nervous. All right. Group 2 is clear crystal quartz. Oh, I'm really not very good at this, but that's all right. It is clear crystal quartz, and the first color, the first thing that came to mind when I was thinking of the energy of this group 2 is a really, really deep, like the darkest emerald green. It's really, really beautiful, rich, saturated color. So I'm going to start off here with some oracle cards. And first we're going to start off and take a look at the overall past, present, and future of the current energy that Spirit would like to call your attention to. So the first card we have is Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? Second card is Life's Purpose. Seek your own deeper vision for life. And right off the bat, I'm feeling there's a lot of blue and a little bit of purple, but lots of blue in these cards. And I'm wondering if maybe, and again, this won't resonate with everybody, but I'm wondering if maybe you've recently been to a new place, near or far. It doesn't have to be a big vacation because not a huge amount of people are vacationing right now. But if you've been to a new place or recently experienced something that has caused a little bit of a shift in the way you think. Maybe you did go to a new place and you loved it, or you started a new job that's, or came across a new person in your path that is kind of asking you to maybe shift a little bit and keep yourself open to new opportunities. And the third card that came through was Fixed Moon, Hold Your Vision. So again, Imrama, where are you being... Oh, dang it. Every single one. And now it's upside down. Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Life's Purpose. Seek your own deeper vision for life. And hold your vision. So it looks like there is a little bit of a realignment happening right now. So let's pull some tarot cards and see what else would like to come out here. So for past, what would Spirit like to tell you about this card telling us where are you being called to journey to? And we have the Page of Cups and the World. Oh, okay, interesting. So pages, they're kind of they're new energy in the sense that as far as the court cards go, they are the lower ranked of the court cards. So and being the cups, that's a water energy, which is emotional space and feelings. And so it's this is very interesting. When I put these three cards together, the Page of Cups, the World, and Where Are You Being Called to Journey To, it does really look as though there's been something recently has struck you emotionally. And it could be an internal realization, or it could be a realization that happened internally because of an external influence. And it's really caused you to wonder, what am I doing? Like, you're sensing the possibility of this world energy, this completion energy, and you're really wondering if that's yeah, it's like you're moving into a new space with this. Oh, I'm so curious. All right, so let's pull a couple more cards here and see where we go. So we have oh, interesting. So we have the Ten of Cups and the Five of Cups energy. Following along with the card that says life purpose, seek your own deeper vision for life. And then we have the Justice and the High Priestess cards for the Hold Your Vision. There's a feeling of sadness that's coming through here with this Five of Cups and this Ten of Cups energy. The Five of Cups is very much it's a sad card. It's a card of loss and being shrouded in grief. And it's interesting that it's showing up right next to the Ten of Cups, which is like the happy home. Like, it's this couple with this, children on this beautiful day with a rainbow, and oops, did I just kick that? And it's very, it's not energies that you expect to go together, and it makes me wonder if you're currently going through a period of loss. Maybe you lost somebody in your family, or it may not even be a physical loss. It might even just be a loss of, you really had a vision that things were going to be a certain way, based on that Page of Cups and World energy from the recent past. And now you're finding that it's not everything that you thought it was going to be. And Spirit is asking you to use this as an opportunity to seek your own deeper vision for your life, and to use this as an opportunity to find your life's purpose. And it's very easy sometimes when everything, like when we are in those periods of our life that feel very much rainbow energy, and that where it feels, I've referred to these times in my own life as sparkle vision, and I've only had a couple, but they've been very distinct. And there's an almost frenetic energy that happens at that time for me. And I've noticed that at those periods of time when everything is going well, I'm actually not really hugely paying attention. I am personally struggle with presence sometimes, and so a lot of times it will be a bump in a road that will call my attention to something that needs to be investigated. And so this might not be that you physically lost a person, like somebody died or there was a breakup or a divorce or something like that. It also could just mean that your idea that there's a grief process around what you thought was going to be the end all be all, the happy home and family. And fact is that even if you have a happy home and family and there's a lot of love in that place, that doesn't mean that there won't be sadness. It doesn't mean that there won't be times of heartache and strife and not feeling like you can really see the full cups behind you, only being able to see the empty, broken cups before you. And that's an opportunity to go within. So I would say use this time as a moment to let this shift, let this experience move you further down your path rather than muddy up your path. Like, use this really as an opportunity to go within. And then with the Justice card and the High Priestess card and the Hold Your Vision card, I think you are like, this is there's so much stability and balance in each of these cards. Like the High Priestess, we've got the two pillars, and she sits in between them. She's not leaning in one direction. She is a receptacle of information within the space of these two realities. And with the Justice card, I mean, holding the Sword of Truth and the scales, which are perfectly balanced here. So again, there's a very stable, solid, and actually even the similar pillars in both of those cards. And then with the Hold Your Vision, it feels like, and especially since both of these are major arcana cards, and yeah, it feels very much like once you move into this space of seeking your own deeper vision and are able to move through that a little bit, you're really going to move into this beautiful, stable space of, and not just stable, because stable can also mean like, oh, well, when you're in a rut, you're also pretty stable, but you're pretty also in a rut. So it's not like that. It's not like that. This is more being in a place of stability and equanimity as you walk forward, holding your vision before you, and just being step by step on that path. All right, so I'm going to pull a couple of more. Actually, I'm going to pull one more tarot card. I do want a little bit more clarity on the Ten of Cups, because that is just, there's a real sadness to this, and it's not, from the Five of Cups, and I'm just curious. So clarify over the Ten of Cups, please. And that is the Ace of Wands. Oh. Again, this will absolutely not resonate with everybody, but that sort of makes me think that, this is kind of showing up as a lightning bolt, and a lot of times that's sort of the energy of the Ace of Wands is, it's primordial fire energy. So that can be that moment of inspiration, or that aha moment, or it can also be that moment of, I'm not on the right path. I need to really shift things. I am no longer in alignment with this career that I have, or I'm no longer in alignment with this partner that I have, or this friendship, or this city, this place. There's very much a feeling of thinking that everything was okay, and then having this aha moment for whatever reason, maybe because you experienced this new thing, whether it was a journey to a place or a journey to a new experience, but this has caused you to have this like aha moment where you're like really looking at what's before you, and what you thought was all hunky-dory isn't perfect. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to go away, but it does mean that it's not perfect, and that's an opportunity to look within and get a little bit deeper clarity so that we can move from that space of lack of judgment and lack of equanimity and balance to this place of holding the sword of truth in the scales of justice and being a conduit for spirit and being a clear channel for the energies around us and being able to hold our own vision. So I do feel like this is kind of a transitory time, that there's some big stuff around you happening, and that there's perhaps a lot of sadness or grief wrapped up with that, and that's okay. Grief is an experience. It is an emotion, just like happiness, and it also has lessons for us. And sometimes the lessons can be pretty profound. And it's interesting because I just, when I was holding up the High Priestess card, I said the words being a clear channel, and the card that I just pulled is mediumship. So perhaps this does have something to do with your career and with the putting yourself in alignment with being a channel for the energies that you want to be a channel for. And it just doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a psychic medium, but when an artist is in flow, they are acting as a medium for that artistic energy. When a chef is in flow, they are acting as a medium for the energy of creating delicious, nutritious food. So there's lots of ways that we can experience mediumship, but one thing that does seem to be pretty consistent across the board, based on my experience, is that the people who are the most successful in their chosen fields, and I don't mean successful financially, but the people who are most competent and most present in their chosen fields, are able to do this thing where they funnel all of their energy into it, and it's like their personal self sort of recedes to the edges a little bit. And I've experienced this for myself when making things or drawing or creating in some way, and also even while dancing. Like it can really show up in millions of different ways. And then, oh, I love this. The other card that came out is intuition. So yeah, there's I do feel like, and again, this won't resonate with everybody, but I do feel like for some of you, this is about opening yourself. And when we open ourselves to our own emotions and start to get in touch with ourselves, we do find that we are, in fact, a little bit psychic. And our intuition is a very, very real thing that can be consciously honed. And yeah, so I do wonder for some of you if this isn't very much about moving into a more intuitive part of your life, and that will cause some disruption. Not everybody loves it when we deviate from a well-trodden path, but Spirit is asking you to be with yourself and telling you that there is success in this, that there is a place of stability and solidity and knowledge and truth and justice on the other side of it if you can just hold your vision. So again, take this opportunity, this whatever caused this internal upheaval, take this as an opportunity to really go within and seek your own deeper vision. And then once you've done that, embrace it and move into that place of really owning your own power, much like these two characters do. Yeah, I hope you find this helpful. I'd really love to hear if you have anything to share, so please do comment and let me know what your experiences are. Be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And again, I'm going to try and chat with myself for a minute here in between on the off chance that I don't edit this out. It's interesting because one of the things that I've been thinking about with this channel and trying to clarify a little bit more what I'd like to do with this space is I don't want it to just be a space where I am turning over cards and interpreting them and letting things move through me. I also want it to be a space where I authentically show up as myself and share parts of myself, because I think that that can be not only helpful for everybody else, but also helpful for me. I'm just gonna, I am being asked to meditate and contemplate, which seems about accurate. So yeah, so one of the things that I have wondered with this channel is just what is the best way to both have myself show up, but not have myself show up so much that I overtake the readings that are intended to be gifts for others. So I guess that's what I'm thinking about at the moment. Group 3 is Optical Quartz. And color that came to mind with group 3 is a orange color, kind of like a sunset in summer. Like that really rich, almost tinged with a little bit of pink, but still definitely very much still in the orange category. So, first card that shows up is Protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. And the second card that comes out is Union and Love. Embrace the beloved within your heart. Okay. And then the third card that comes out is a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. And actually 2 came out for that one. You're very close to achieving your goal. And those definitely do feel very much tied together for me here. So this, I'm gonna, before I go too far out on a limb here, I'm gonna, okay. Well, this was lovely. Okay, so for the Protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval, the 2 cards that came out were the 4 of Cups and the Knight of Wands. And I'm feeling like you were recently sort of blindsided by the actions of another person. And this, I don't feel like this Knight of Wands energy is you. I feel more like this 4 of Cups energy is you. Like you were just kind of going about your business, looking at your 3 full cups here, and, you know, kind of in comes the Knight of Swords. And this is very, so the, I'm sorry, Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is, I mean, it's the airy part of fire. So, I mean, what happens when you have fire and then you blow some air on it? It's like conflagration, and things kind of can become a little bit explosive. And even if you just look at the way he's sort of sitting on this horse is in like mid-rear, and there's a lot of action in it. And yeah, I feel very much like you were recently blindsided by the actions of somebody, and now Spirit is asking you to call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. And, you know, when when we are, and this won't resonate for everybody, but when we are blindsided by somebody, like say somebody treats us in a way that is, where they just really cross our boundaries and they harm us in an emotional way, and that not only hurts us in the action itself, but also just in all of the personal sense of power we lose from those situations. So just to give a very specific example, you imagine a person who is in a romantic partnership and finds out that their partner is cheating on them. That not only is in that is there harm in the action of itself, but one of the lingering things that can come from such a situation is that you lose your own sense of power, because you start to then be like, well, how did I not know this? Can I not trust anybody ever? Like, it's very easy to feel disconnected from our own sense of power when such things like that happen to us. And I'm not saying that somebody has a partner who's cheating on them. That was just an example that I gave. This very well could also show up of, for some reason, it's kind of, in my mind, it's sort of showing up as like, you're this person and you're just focused on the things in front of you and the things that you love and the things that you value. And you're maybe not paying attention as much as you could be, which allows this other thing to blindside you, which is, I don't like the way that came out, because I feel like that was victim blaming in a way that I was absolutely not intending to. But I guess what I am saying is that sometimes we don't notice information that is more subtly coming at us, which means that when the less subtle information comes through, it can be very, very disruptive indeed. So maybe this is, for some reason, I'm getting a work situation kind of coming up here too. So maybe you were working on a project with somebody and you were really feeling very proud of it, and maybe you didn't notice some of the personality quirks in this person that you were working with, and then come to find out they took all of the credit and didn't give you any credit for any of the hard work that you put in on it. So that could be a situation like that too, and it's a very disempowering sort of thing to feel. And cutting the energetic cords when something like that happens is absolutely a great thing to do. Call your energy back, and that can be as simple a process as taking a deep breath in, exhaling, and just willing all of your energy to come back to you, past, present, future. Just be with you here, now, in the present. So in the second card position, we're seeing the union of love, embrace the beloved in your heart. And the two cards that came out so auspicious are the Sun card and the Eight of Wands card. And so the Eight of Wands card is often seen as the communication card, and quick moving communication as well. So I think in the greater context though, I feel more that you are going to, okay, so, sorry, I'm interrupting myself, getting so excited. So with the Sun energy, what I'm really getting from this is that this calling back your power and cutting the cords really allows you to move into this beautiful, beautiful energy of becoming the beloved within your own heart. And so I really get this feeling. I'm wondering if you're seeing synchronicities lately, or having moments where you're like, Spirit trying to tell me something? And yes, Spirit is trying to tell you something for sure. Spirit is asking you to use this opportunity of difficulty and pain to fall back in love with yourself and reprioritize your own self as the center of your own life. Because we should really always be the center of our own lives. Even if we are a parent, I do believe that that is important, because I believe that even when we have others dependent upon us for something, if we aren't able to keep our own cups full and do that on a regular basis, then the quality of the way we show up for others is impacted by that. So when we show up first for ourselves, when we prove to ourselves first that we can show up for ourselves, not only are we then able to have fuller cups to bring to the rest of the world, but also if we are parents or people in positions of influence over others, then we're also demonstrating really, really good skills for others to learn to harvest for themselves. And this is perhaps the most exciting part of all of this altogether, is that these last two cards, a personal issue reaches resolution and you're very close to achieving to your goal. I feel like they're very tied together. So there's, as you go through this personal issue of re-embracing yourself and re-loving yourself and calling back your power and stepping back into your own self and your own sense of power, then the two tarot cards that came up were the Fool and the Six of Wands, which this is such gorgeous energy. I mean, I feel like you put these three together, and whatever pain or discomfort you are experiencing in the recent past is really setting the groundwork for you to shift into this place of new beginnings and new energy and taking a leap of faith and having it be successful. So trying to think of just different ways that this could show up. So like I said, maybe this is a job opportunity. Maybe let's go back to that situation where maybe you had a colleague that you were working on a project, or maybe it's another student. Maybe you were working on a project with somebody and you were just blindsided by the fact that they took all of the credit, and you felt very disempowered by that, and you felt very hurt by that behavior. And so instead, Spirit is like, okay, well, yeah, that was hurtful and that wasn't great, but let me also take this opportunity to look within and realize that I did do all of the work. The hurt of this other person that they inflicted upon you doesn't change the fact that you were showing up and doing the work in this example. And that that allows you to move into this beautiful space where Spirit is maybe saying, this is an opportunity to maybe take a leap of faith and be like, I'm not going to work with this person again. I'm going to start this new project. And this new project is going to open up this whole new world for you. Maybe if it's instead of your students, maybe it's a work situation, then perhaps maybe it's a boss or something that took credit for something that you did. And this causes you to maybe notice other signs where Spirit is asking you to step outside of this work situation and open the possibilities to something new. And instead that brings you forward and when you do, that brings you forward into this place where you find this great new job at this great new company, and it's something that has a whole new aspect that you hadn't even thought of before, that is very exciting and makes you feel like you've conquered. Maybe this is a situation where it is a romantic relationship, and there was some infidelity or some lying or distrustful behavior that caused you to be like, nope, I need to end this. I need to reclaim myself. I need to be my own son. And I mean son in this sense, and I need to show up for myself and fall in love with myself. And in doing so, that allows you to embrace into this whole new world of who can you really be when you're at your best? What new ventures can you find for yourself that you will find exciting, that will give you opportunities in the future for success, whether they be romantic or whether that just sets the place for you to expand from. That is awesome. I love it. Okay, so let's see about pulling two more oracle cards just as final messages from Spirit. It seems like this has been a little bit of a difficult time, that you've been of late feeling very deprived of your own power, and it's hard to experience hard times, and I'm with you, and I empathize and sympathize. And sometimes when we're in that hard space, it's actually hard to hear that things are going to get better. Sometimes it's both what we want to hear, but it's also hard to hear it. And, but it's true. Things are going to get better. And the additional cards, oh wow, 2 cards that I pulled were Storm and Divine Consciousness. And the messages that are really coming through with this is that the storm is both what has already happened, but also what it will continue to allow to grow. And with Divine Consciousness, I think, you know, you're really being asked to look within and, you know, as you get these messages yourself from Spirit or these synchronicities, take a moment and pause and really look at what is your higher self, what is Spirit, what path is really pulling you forward, what expansion is coming your way, because there is definitely expansion coming your way. There's new things coming at you that will be good and happy, and where you will experience a sense of beauty. And, you know, because especially with the 6 of Wands, gosh, it's really a lot of Wands energy now that I'm looking here that kind of popped up here. It's something that you feel very passionately about. It's something that has a lot of emotion or inspirational energy behind it. So I say, yeah, try and be aware of those pings that are coming in from yourself, from your higher self, from Spirit and your Spirit team, and be open to what they have to share with you. And it will help you achieve your goals. It will help you move out of this place of feeling disempowered and into the place where you are recognizing and reveling in your own personal power. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have, I would love to hear from you. So drop a comment, feel free to like. I probably should have said this before, but also feel free to subscribe. I'll get better. And thank you so much for showing up. I can't wait to see what happens next time. And be kind to yourself and be well. Well, if you're still here, thank you for sticking around. And like, comment, subscribe, do the things. And yeah, till next time, take it easy.